5 on your money now, and a closer look at the high cost of housing in Massachusetts.
Talk about sticker shock right now. The median price, that's the middle of a home in Greater Boston, over $900,000. It's about $960,000, so zeroing in on $1 million. Yesterday, Governor Maura Healey signed a housing bond bill. The goal here is to increase the number of housing units in the state, but right now the situation is pretty grim for a lot of prospective buyers out there. Joining us in the studio is Anthony Lamacchia, the current CEO of Lamacchia Realty. Anthony, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Is there any sign right now? I know you and I were just talking about it. Spring is the time when the market's on fire. Summer, it does slow down. But any longer-term sign that this market might cool a little bit, or is there just not enough inventory still?
It's two separate subjects. The market is already cooled. I mean, home sales are at a 30-year low, and they've been like that for about 2 years. In fact, year-to-date, home sales are down 2%. What's shocking to everyone is prices keep going up. It's not shocking to me because when you have a lack of properties for sale, then prices go up. This game is all about supply and demand. So the higher interest rates have made a lot of home sellers say, I don't want to list my home. I don't want to give up my rate. I have a 2.8% rate. I have a 3% rate. I don't want to trade that for a 6, 6.5, 7. I do think that's going to ease in the next year.
Yeah, well, so we know the Fed, it's likely to cut rates next month. Will that have an impact?
Well, there's no direct impact between short-term interest rates when the Fed cuts the overnight rate to mortgage rates. Mortgage rates are impacted by many other factors, like how many investors are buying bonds, and it's complicated to explain. But look at last Friday. Jobs report was poor. So guess what happened to interest rates? They went down, mortgage rates. This Monday, there was a huge market meltdown overseas. It came here, market went down 1,100 points. What happened to mortgage rates? They went down. So bad economic news is good news for mortgage rates.
So mortgage rates right now are in the mid-sixes.
Mid-sixes, and that's the best they've been in a year and a half.
So if they drop below that, let's say they get a 5 as the first digit, could that supercharge this market? And could people who have been sitting on the fence do want to cash in on their home's value and maybe move, relocate, seniors downsizing? Could they say, hey, I can't stomach 6.5%, 7% on an interest rate, but I can stomach 5.75%?
Yes, we expect that to happen. When rates get into 5s, and who knows, maybe high 4s again at some point, depending upon what happens with the economy, we expect more people to get moving. I mean, the only people that are moving in the last 2 years are death, divorce, diapers, new babies, people that have to move. Those are the people that are moving now. The rest of them are saying, I don't want to give up my rate, but that will wear off in time and as rates come down.
Is there any segment of the market that is slower or faster than others? I mean, obviously, it's all very expensive right now with the median price moving in at $1 million. But I would imagine a house under $1 million is much more attractive than, say, a house that's $2.5 million.
So as a general rule, the lower the priced home, the more buyers there are for that home. There's never, even in 08, 9, and 10, there's never a lack of first-time buyers. So there's always more buyers the lower that you go on the price. Seasonality is something that a lot of people miss, and we were talking about that before. This time of year, it takes a little longer to sell a home because there's less buyers out there looking than there were 6 months ago. There's more sellers out there. So if you're pricing your home for sale now, you need to be a little more aggressive. Don't overshoot your target or your home will sit. And if you're a buyer, this is the greatest time of year to buy a home, from now till Thanksgiving. And especially with rates recently coming down, this is a better time to buy.
So low ball on offer?
I mean, if it makes sense to, it depends.
Listen, I think I'm a casual observer. You and I talked about this for a story a couple months ago. There's a lot of stuff sitting on the market that I think is priced too high.
This is one of Ben's most interesting topics. He could talk to you all day about the market.
We've talked before.
Anthony Lamacchia, thank you so much for all the great advice.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Don't give him your personal phone number. No.